Hey there, I am back with another deck review, and today we're going to be looking at Ocean's Curse from Doc's Playing Cards. This deck was designed by artist Abraham Garcia. He's the same artist behind a couple of other decks, including the Murphy's Magic Salem deck, as well as the Aviator deck from Art of Play. They're both beautiful decks and really showcase his talents as an artist. So really excited to see how things turn out when he brings his skills to this pirate-themed deck for Doc's Playing Cards. There's a couple of different versions of the deck that we're going to be checking out, starting with the standard version, and then we'll get a chance to look at the Captain's Crate edition, so stay tuned for that. This deck is actually sold out on Doc's Playing Cards, but if you want to get one of these, stay tuned for the end, because I'll be talking about how you can win one of these for yourself. But before we get to that, let's check out the deck. All right, so starting with the tuck case for the standard edition. It's done on this light gray matte cardstock, and then it's covered with some beautiful foiled and sculpted embossing all the way throughout. Everything you see on here is embossed and foiled. You have the name of the deck, Ocean's Curse, in nice bold letters, and then you can see the namesake of the deck, the beautiful pirate ship looking head on at it here in the front. You have some of the loot stacked up on the side, treasure chests and barrels, and I love the little skeleton in a cage there, kind of a prisoner who got trapped along the way. Really cool look to it overall, that kind of engraving style throughout, and at the bottom, limited edition playing cards. Really great artwork on this one, some fantastic details throughout on this one. On the side, you get the name of the deck once more, Ocean's Curse, and of course these are premium playing cards. Bottom gives you the ad copy for Doc's Playing Cards, mentions these are made in the USA, these are printed by the USPCC, and on the top of the deck you can get the first look at this beautiful copper foil custom shaped seal on the top, including the Latin phrase dictum factum, which means what is said is done. And then a really cool image of a ship on the high seas with the Kraken reaching up from the depths. Very cool look to it. I love the ornate shape of the seal overall. And then on the back here, you get a foiled, embossed version of the back design of the cards. We'll look more at some of those details as we get to the cards themselves. You open up the inner flap, you get another Latin phrase, this one, vivere est vincere, which means to live is to conquer. It's actually the personal motto of Captain John Smith. And then a little skull here on the two inner flaps, and some beautiful interior foiling, all done in copper, made to look like an actual pirate's treasure map on the inside. Very cool look to it. I love interior foiling, just gives an extra little bit of luxury to the tuck case. But anyway, that's the tuck case, but let's look at the cards. All right, so starting with the back design, here it is. I gotta say, the back design features some really beautiful artwork all the way through, a lot of detail, but manages to feel a little bit flatter than I would have liked. And maybe it's the monochrome color or something like that that does it. But if you look at the details, you'll see some really nice artwork all the way through, including the two skeletal captains fighting each other with the swords. You get the globe in the background, lots of ornate filigree throughout. You get the compass rose in the center. Again, that Latin phrase, vivere est vincere, the same one that we saw on the tuck case, to live is to conquer. And really ornate and interesting shape to the border as well. I think maybe a little bit of color would have served this well. A little bit of contrast in the color would have helped it feel a little bit of depth. But like I said, still some very nice artwork. And the other part that I don't necessarily like as much about this tuck case, or about the back design here, is the border. I will say I like usually when there's sort of shaped borders rather than a hard border, but this one ends up leaving the border feel like it's a really fat border, which I don't like as much. So I think there's a few elements that could have been improved on the back design, but still some nice artwork to it. All right, but now on the cards, you'll see we get a little bit more color as we go to the jokers, and you see what I mean about how much extra depth this brings to the scene. It's the same basic artwork, but on the jokers, I think it works so much better, and I think it's the addition of those extra little brown tones throughout that just give it a little bit more life. The two jokers are identical, and they both feature an image of a mermaid perched upon a rock and kind of surrounded by some of the treasures from the ship, and even has the skeletal remains of one of the pirates clutching the treasure chest on the bottom. She has a human skull in her hand. She's even wearing the captain's hat. Just a cool look to the scene. Again, kind of has that engraving art style that I think is really, really well done. And then you get the Joker in the corners, that kind of metallic copper color. And then another Latin phrase at the bottom, Morituri te salutant. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This is actually a greeting that was used by gladiators to the Roman emperor, and it means those who are about to die salute you. So very, very cool, great artwork on the Jokers. I like that a lot. You also get a couple of cards that you might use for Magic, including a double backer and a blank face card. All right, now getting into the meat of the deck, and we start out with the Ace of Spades. This one has the Ocean's Curse name across the top, and then features a large ornate pip in the center, that large spade pip, framing up a scene of some treasure that sunk to the bottom of the sea. You can see the open treasure chest there with the coins and the pearls, the skeletal figure there at the bottom, and even a little crab scurrying away on the side. Cool look to it overall, and again, kind of making use of those brown tones to give some extra depth to the scene. Once more, mentioning these are limited edition playing cards, and kind of a fat index here in the corner, and then a pretty standard looking spade pip. So not bad look to it. Again, some very nice artwork from Garcia there in the middle. The number cards all feature that same kind of bold, blocky font in the corner, but then give you some custom pips in the center. Very cool look to these. I like the custom pips, and I like the embellishments that are included in these. So on the spade pips, you get a little bit of a lighter gray, which gives you a chance to see that anchor that kind of forms the backdrop of the spade pip. And each one of the different suits is going to have a slightly different embellishment to the pips. But nice large pips, easy to read, and pretty standard layout. So these will be nice and familiar if you want to use this for gameplay. As we get to the diamonds, it now has the ship's wheel there as the backdrop for the pip, and done on that kind of red color with little bits of pink mixed in. And then when we get to the clubs, we have my favorite of them, Kraken or an octopus there with its tentacles wrapped around the sides of the club pip. That one's definitely my favorite of the 4 pips. And then finally, the hearts, which feature the compass rose with some ropes twisting around to form the shape of the heart. So nice little embellishments. I love the extra little detail without distracting from the playability of the pips as a whole. And then we get to the court cards, and the court cards don't have specifically named characters, but they all feature really well illustrated pirates that might have inhabited the Ocean's Curse. All of them have unique looks to them. There's no duplicated art in these, and very expressive faces, just really nicely done artwork on these. You'll even see like the one-eyed Jack here with an actual scar and one eye. And rather than holding the classic swords or axes from a bicycle deck, they're of course holding weaponry that you might find on a classic pirate ship, like the cutlasses that you see here. Again, kind of uses multiple tones. You have the black as well as those kind of more sepia tones. Give it a really nice look to it overall. That really fat frame around, but it still looks nice and kind of has some extra depth to it. So core cards, I think, are definitely kind of a high point of the deck overall. So there's your diamond courts. Love the Jack of Diamonds. Very interesting with that sort of metal jaw there and the hook off to the side. Definitely the most menacing of the different characters. And then into the clubs. The King of Clubs over here, by the way, that is Captain Octavio Graves himself, the captain of the Ocean's Curse ship. So he actually gets his own card on the King of Clubs. It's the only named court card that I know of. And then finally the hearts. That Jack of Hearts, another favorite of mine. I love the monkey there perched on his shoulder. And that is the deck. Really cool, fun little deck. I think there were a couple little elements that maybe could have been improved, but still very nice overall. Printed by USPCC, so you're going to be used to the handling. Handles really nicely, no complaints on that front. Not a bad little deck and a fun deck to use overall. But that's only one version of the deck. The real treasure, so to speak, of the line is the Captain's Chest. This is, according to the story, the lore of the deck, the actual personal treasure crates of Captain Octavius Graves himself. These are made by Carrot Case Creations. You may know them for their more clear acrylic boxes, but they've been experimenting around with wood boxes as well, as you can see here. Really nicely done. This is all done in walnut. You get beautiful grain to it overall, that nice dark stain on it. Gives some interesting tones as you turn all the way around the box. And on the front, branded on there, or really laser etched on here, you have the name of the deck, Ocean's Curse. The top opens up, held in place with nice magnets to keep it nice and securely held in place, and inside reveals the more limited version of the deck overall. The cards in this one exactly the same, so I'm not going to go into the whole deck, but you can see the differences in the tuck case. That darker gray, that kind of slate gray color, still with that black foil on it. Personally, I think the design pops out a good bit better on the standard version, but the darker version, a nice extra little addition to the line, and looks fantastic with that really cool crate box overall. And that is it. That is the Ocean's Curse line. Now, when I got these, I actually got it in the actual half brick box, another cool little addition that you can get. This one designed with an embossed front to it, and again, that black foil throughout, and made to look like a little treasure chest here. As you open up inside, you can see the extra decks. And I mentioned up at the top that I give you guys a chance to win one of these. Of course, my crate has 5 additional decks inside, and gonna give you guys a chance to win one of them. So if you want to win an Ocean's Curse deck for yourself, all you have to do is like the video and comment down below with, I don't know, comment your favorite deck. And that's all you got to do. Give me about a week and we'll draw a winner. That's it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this look at the Ocean's Curse deck. Good luck if you enter the giveaway. Hope you win. And that's it for now. Make sure to subscribe for more deck reviews, more unboxings. Let me know what else you want to see, and I'll see you for the next one.